Hello and welcome to this week's devotional. Hope things are going well for you. I'm sure many of you are in the midst of busyness of especially this season, Thanksgiving coming up here on Thursday. This time of year always brings a lot. We're busy getting ready for family to visit or travel, or we have extra activities going on. And we just got a lot going on. But for others, it may be a bit lonelier. A season where we don't have a lot going on, and the feeling of loneliness or being alone or isolated is one I'm sure everyone can relate to, whether it's because of the past few years where we were using words like social distancing or isolation or quarantine, or maybe it's because of where we've chosen to live. When I was in Northwest Iowa, we were in farm country, miles and miles and miles of farmland, and houses could be on those plots of land separated by miles. And so there was an isolation caused by distance in that scenario. Or up here in the North Woods, you might be relatively close to a neighbor, but because of trees and lakes and other barriers, we are isolated and we separate ourselves. And so those things can cause us to feel isolated or lonely, but sometimes even in a crowd, right? Even in a crowd, we can feel lonely or isolated. And I'm sure many of you have been to sporting events and tens of thousands of fans. I was recently at a Bucks and Wolves Timberwolves game in the Twin Cities, and 15,000 plus fans at that arena, and I couldn't help but look around and think, there's got to be loneliness. There's got to be people that just feel unknown in this crowd. And I thought about that because as we had walked into the arena, there was a man. He was standing with a sign asking for help. And as we have been looking at Jesus' life in the Gospel of Luke, I'm just continued to be reminded of Jesus' compassion for people. He was often surrounded by the crowds, and Jesus, being fully God, knew and knows today each individual person and their needs, because it wasn't for religion that Jesus came, right? He didn't come and establish a religious system. No, he came because he wanted a relationship, a restored relationship, a right relationship with his people. Matthew 11, verses 28 through 30 say it like this: "Come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." Jesus wants to know that he's near, that we are never alone. The author of Hebrews in chapter 4, verse 15 wants us to know that we do not have a high priest who is unable to sympathize with our weakness, but one who in every respect has been tempted as we are, yet without sin. He wants us to know that Jesus knows what we're going through, and he's present with us in it, right? Dane Ortland, in his book, Gentle and Lowly, The Heart of Christ for Sinners and Sufferers, writes, "Our pain never outstrips what he himself shares in. We are never alone. That sorrow that feels so isolating, so unique, was endured by him in the past and is now shouldered by him in the present." And of course, he's speaking of the him being Jesus. And so Jesus, again, what did he say in Matthew? Jesus says, "My yoke is easy and my burden is light." He has shouldered it in the past and he shoulders it in the present. That is great news. It's good news. So as we head into the season of Thanksgiving, of Advent, of Christmas, whatever these seasons bring for you personally, I want you to be encouraged. I want you to know that God came down to us, that through faith in Jesus Christ, you are never alone. You are known, you are loved, you are forgiven, you are free, you are a beloved dear child of God. So let's continue to share this good news of Christ's compassion with those around us. Have a great Thanksgiving.
I was blind, now I'm seeing in color. I was dead, now I'm living forever. I had failed, but you were my Redeemer. I've been blessed beyond all measure. I was lost, now I'm found by the Father. I've been changed from a ruin to treasure. I've been given a hope and a future. I've been blessed beyond all measure. I am counting every blessing, counting every blessing, letting go and trusting when I cannot see. I am counting every